A young woman named Claire arrives at an underground facility run by Blackwood Pharmaceuticals to participate in the first phase of clinical trials for a new drug. 7 volunteers have signed up for the experiment. An overly chatty girl, Allison, immediately bombards Claire with questions, but Claire responds curtly. Soon, all the participants gather in a common room, noticing there's no connection to the outside world. The lead researcher briefs them, explaining that over the next 5 days, their dosage will gradually increase. All participants will be closely monitored, so there's no need to worry about potential side effects. After the briefing, the volunteers take their first dose of the drug. During dinner, a man named Ray shares that a friend earned $50,000 from a similar experiment last year, and he hopes to cash in too. Claire admits it's her first time in such a trial, and the others warn her to watch out for Vanessa, who seems a bit unhinged. Later, Claire undergoes various tests and provides samples to monitor her condition. The process exhausts her, but even in her room, she can't relax due to Allison's endless chatter. Suddenly, Claire feels unwell. In the corridor, she runs into Amir, who encourages her, saying they're testing a drug that could one day help with allergies, motion sickness, and similar issues, so their suffering serves a greater purpose. Amir, a medical student, joined the trial after Blackwood rejected his internship application and offered him a spot in the experiment instead. That same night, Claire can't sleep, nor can the other participants. They nervously note that something feels off about this trial. The next morning, Dr. Burke dismisses their concerns, assuring them that mild insomnia is normal. By the afternoon, with over 30 hours since their last proper sleep, Allison confides in Claire that she feels strange, but Claire brushes it off. Meanwhile, Dr. Burke expresses concern to her supervisor about recent MRI scans. All participants show rapid brain inflammation, suggesting the drug dosage might be far higher than stated. Later, Claire and Allison observe lab mice. Allison pities them in their cages, but Claire remarks it's better to be well-fed in a cage than struggling to survive on the streets. This prompts Allison to suspect Claire might be homeless. The next day, Dr. Burke announces a change in the trial's parameters. Now, they're testing how long the participants can stay awake. During another MRI, Claire admits she can't handle confined spaces. Inside the scanner, she has a panic attack, triggered by memories of being locked in a closet as a child, forcing the doctors to halt the test. Allison tries to calm her, teaching her a trick from a school counselor: play Tetris in your mind. Claire is initially annoyed, but can't resist Allison's warm smile and persistence. Soon, the group notices their drug dosage has increased, sparking a rebellion. Dr. Burke quells the unrest, announcing that whoever lasts until the end will receive a $30,000 bonus. The group is thrilled, but Claire and Amir grow suspicious that the trial is going off the rails. Before long, all participants feel overwhelming fatigue and drowsiness. Dr. Burke pleads with her superiors to stop the trial, as the participants' immune systems are spiraling out of control. Instead, they order an even higher dosage. Meanwhile, the group dreams aloud about how they'll spend their money after the trial. Listening to them, Claire nearly dozes off, but Allison snaps her back to reality, asking for her opinion. Claire says she'll first find a proper place to live. At that moment, Amir overhears Dr. Burke's conversation with management, and when she leaves, sneaks into her office to copy data onto a USB drive. Seeing Allison fall asleep, Claire approaches to wake her, but blood suddenly streams from Allison's eyes, and she dies in convulsions. Dr. Burke and the others watch in horror. Abruptly, the system signals a security breach, initiating a lockdown protocol. Dr. Burke races to the exit but is impaled by a metal rod as the doors seal shut. After the doctor's death, the group is paralyzed with indecision. Amir catches up and urgently begs everyone to stay awake, warning they'll end up like Allison. He's seen the scans. Their brains are so overstimulated by the drug that sleep will be fatal. Per the security protocol, the facility will remain sealed for 24 hours before they can escape. To hold on, Amir distributes 5 packets of smelling salts to each person, urging them to use them sparingly. He warns against taking stimulants, explaining that once they escape, they'll need immunosuppressants to slow brain activity and survive. Later, Amir monitors Claire, hiding his fear as her condition worsens. She starts hearing her mother's voice and records a video message for her, but can't send it. Meanwhile, Ray runs out of smelling salts and begins begging the others for theirs. Ray's brazen behavior infuriates Vanessa. Claire hears her mother's lullaby more clearly and nearly falls asleep. but Paul wakes her with a story about his life. Later, Claire visits Dr. Burke's office and finds a file with her name, stating she's an ideal candidate due to evident desperation and low socialization. Claire then heads to the kitchen and sees Vanessa trying to stay awake by holding her hand over a stove. Paul starts experiencing auditory hallucinations, leading him into darkness. But in reality, he falls asleep and dies like Allison. Claire fights sleep by burning her hand, then rallies the remaining participants to break out of the facility. Everyone except Amir, who believes it's futile, starts chiseling at a wall, but hits a metal barrier. Ray's nerves crack, and he questions how Amir knew it wouldn't work, suspecting he's working for Blackwood. Paul points out that Amir is sleep-deprived like them. Claire finds Amir in the doctor's office, where he admits the lockdown was triggered when he tried uploading files to the USB. Devastated and wanting to die, he's urged by Claire to find a solution, comparing the brain to an overheated car engine. Amir gets an idea to slow brain activity with a drug, and Claire rushes to tell the others. In the corridor, Paul intercepts her, showing an empty stimulant vial found in Amir's belongings, suggesting he can't be trusted. Suddenly, the lights go out. Paul recalls seeing an electrical panel in the MRI room, and they rush there. As Claire battles hallucinations, Paul falls silent. When she restores the light, she finds him nearly asleep against the wall. They confront Amir, and Ray starts a fight, tying him up and accusing him of cutting the lights to make them sleep and die. Claire intervenes, explaining Amir's predicament. She volunteers to test his drug, calming Ray slightly. Paul, guided by Amir, prepares the solution. Vanessa pulls Ray aside, saying she saw him cut the lights. Ray admits he did it to force Amir to confess to working for Blackwood. Vanessa suggests another plan. If he distracts Claire, she'll inject Amir with a sedative to get the truth. Meanwhile, Amir warns Claire that his drug is risky and could kill her if it fails. Paul announces the solution is ready. As Claire prepares to inject it, Vanessa, about to sedate Amir, suddenly dies in convulsions, and Paul accidentally shatters the vial in the chaos. Amir has a nervous breakdown, and Claire heads to the common room to check how long until the doors unlock. Claire records another message, saying that despite her mother being a monster when drunk, she now understands her. New hallucinations lift her into the air, and she desperately reaches for her last packet of smelling salts. Coming to, she hears an odd sound from a wall. With Paul, she discovers a hidden room behind it, likely a morgue. Meanwhile, Ray finds a note in Vanessa's clothes, where Amir admits to causing the lockdown. Amir, hallucinating Dr. Burke, urging him to take control, spots a nearby knife. In the morgue, Paul and Claire find a lift, and he urges her to escape with him. Enraged, Ray grabs a scalpel to kill Amir, but Amir breaks free, grabs a knife, and stabs Ray in a frenzy. Claire and Paul, hearing screams, witness the scene. Amir charges at them, and Paul, fleeing, locks himself in the lift, which turns out to be a crematorium, burning him alive. Amir chases Claire to the MRI room, intending to kill her, but the knife is pulled to the machine, allowing her to escape to her room and arm herself with scissors. Amir follows but collapses in the corridor, exhausted. Suddenly, the lockdown ends, and the massive door opens. Gathering his strength, Amir steps into the light and faces armed men sent by the corporation to eliminate witnesses. Claire hears a gunshot and hides. Seizing her chance, she runs to the exit, spots black body bags with the participants' corpses, and hides in one. As the vehicle leaves the facility, she climbs out. The guard's reaction distracts the driver, causing the vehicle to crash off the road. Claire escapes the wreckage and collapses nearby. 4 months later, Blackwood Pharmaceuticals clears its name, blaming Dr. Burke for conducting unauthorized experiments that killed nearly all participants, leaving one in a coma. As the corporation looks forward to future research, Claire wakes up in a hospital bed. And so, we reach the end of Double Blind. Without mincing words, the climax tries to shock but leaves more questions than answers. The characters trapped in an isolated facility face the consequences of an experiment where sleep equals death. Tension builds, but the ending falls flat. The plot veers into predictable tropes, and some character decisions feel illogical, undermining the psychological thriller vibe. Personally, I didn't enjoy the film. The idea of an experiment and survival struggle is intriguing, but the execution falters. Scenes drag and the characters lack depth, making it hard to care about their motives. The rushed ending feels like the creators didn't know how to wrap things up. If you love thrillers with unexpected twists, This film might disappoint due to its weak attention to detail, but you might find something in it. Worth watching. Decide for yourself, but I'd recommend something more gripping.